moments as we just prepare for the national anthem. But the pitch, I must say, looks in splendid condition, unlike earlier this summer when it was heavily criticised. So we will just pause for the dignitaries to come and meet the respective teams. And our officials, 3 of them, the referee and his 2 assistants, are all from Korea. And United Arab Emirates meeting those VIPs as we go through. Unfortunately, I can't tell you who exactly they are, but I believe this is a consul. And there is our Mr. Kim. In the middle is our official. So a Korean side. Korean team, should I say, to officiate this evening. And there he is, the man I was talking about, actually number 15, who is a new addition, Andy Nagalain, and he is making his debut for Hong Kong this evening. A defensive midfielder who is has a German father and a Hong Kong Chinese mother. So it'd be great to get a chance to see how he performs. So let's pause for the national anthem of United Arab Emirates. So a warm welcome for this Hong Kong team. Of course, local support is most certainly going to outnumber our visitors from the Arab nation, but did notice they had a few supporters in the crowd as well. And it really promises to be an excellent fixture. So just a reminder, United Arab Emirates, well, currently there's a bit of a gap here because they are ranked number 82nd in the world, and Hong Kong have moved down actually to 148th. So, you know, 60-odd, 66 places difference between the two as we see Hong Kong line up. James McKee, Chan Soo Ki, the number 7, the captain. Some, you know, the usual suspects, if you like, with the exception of that gentleman, number 15, Andy Naglayan, the German Chinese, and it's going to be very, very, well, it's a very difficult task because really this United Arab Emirates side have come off of the back. I'm not sure if we'll get a graphic, but I can tell you the last 4 games of the UAE, they have won all 5, beg your pardon, the last 5, and most recently a win, 2-0 win at home in Riyadh against New Zealand, who, as we all know, qualified for the last World Cup and did themselves quite proud. In fact, not even losing a game. They didn't make it through the group stages, but quite some feat. So they top this Group E standings. They've played 2 games, 2 wins, and 6 points. Hong Kong, somewhat, arguably, somewhat surprisingly, they're in second with 4 points. They've got they beat Vietnam earlier this year in March, a 1-0, home in Hong Kong, and then they drew the opening fixture, which actually, looking back, was a fabulous result against Uzbekistan in February earlier this year. So puts them on 4 points. Uzbekistan have just had the 1 draw against Hong Kong, and they got beat 2-1 off of the UAE away. As we just see the teams line up quickly, not wanting to go through all of them, but it's pretty much unchanged for Hong Kong, as I said, with the exception of, keep an eye out for him, number 15. Andy, we'll call him for short. And he's not the youngest fellow on the pitch, 32 years of age. He was born in Hong Kong, and he started his playing career for FC Nuremberg at the age of 7 or 8 years of age. So comes with some pedigree, if you like, and currently playing his football in China. Just looking down that team and counting them up, we have 5 players for Hong Kong playing their football on the mainland, which is also possibly a sign of the development of Hong Kong football, where these Hong Kong players are actually good enough to play in the Chinese First Division National League, which in all honesty is a somewhat higher standard than the league we have here in Hong Kong at the moment. So that all bodes well for this Hong Kong side. But the United Arab Emirates, they really, well, they look like, I won't say they're cruising, but they've had a difficult start. And they beat Vietnam 2-1 earlier this year. And as mentioned, the same score at home against Uzbekistan. So they really are heavy favourites. But, really, if Hong Kong can get any kind of result out of this fixture, even a point would be absolutely fabulous. It really would, because that would, keep the distance between the 2 seeds. They basically stay in touch with this Group E, and it wouldn't pull away from them. The next fixture is just next month. 2 difficult games, so they've got to they've actually got to go away and play the UAE. So it's 2 games against the same opposition, and then on the 19th of November, roughly a month away, here's the new boy, gets a rousing cheer. Fortunately gives it away, didn't quite find James McKee, but they play Uzbekistan. So 3 very, very difficult and hard games for this Hong Kong side. But really, if they can take any kind of points from these 3 fixtures and be in touch when they meet Vietnam again in March next year, then, well, they've got a chance of qualification. Hong Kong have not qualified for the Asian Cup, just for your information, since 1968. So a long, long wait. And let's hope they can change that scenario. Going to shepherd that out for a corner, and that is our Agbo. Winsome Agbo plays his football also now, of course, a local areas. He's played in Hong Kong a number of years, but now he's playing his football for Harbin, one of those overseas players, if you like, naturalized Hong Kong resident now, as is, of course, James McKee. And I think it's important for Hong Kong just to settle down and start get a little feel of this football, play it around. It's a big surface, looks a nice surface. James McKee, first touch wasn't that good, was it? Try to pick it out of the air, but he's done well here. Just overruns it for a corner, and that was Mohamed Garib, who got back the number 23. But a good run from James McKee in the channel. His first touch a little heavy, took him away from the play. and just lost his feet. But yeah, just slightly coming back to the surface. It doesn't look too bad, does it? Considering we had that absolute shambles in the summer when the big Premier League teams were coming through, and it made all those bad headlines. Given away, number 17, Majid Hassan. And just looking down the UAE side, there is 6 of them playing for Al Hilal, the club side, and no free kick from our Korean official, Mr. Kim. And Hong Kong asking for that and getting it. Kwok Kim Pong, South China left full-back there, winning that throw-in for Hong Kong. And I think if they can have some composure, that was James McKee trying to defend there. Looks a tricky customer, doesn't he? Number 21, it's Omar. Also plays his football for Al Ain, and on the right wing. So the referee has not given a free kick, and it's going to be a throw. Not quite sure what Hong Kong coach Kim has set out for Hong Kong, but they seem to be sitting quite deep. Have a look at this. Nobody really closing the ball down, and they inviting the UAE to come and play. Good strength there, and that's got to be a free kick straight away, and it may even be a card. Only 5 minutes gone. It's the first yellow card. Number 7 crashed into the Hong Kong defender there, and Ali Mabnot, the Al Jazeera club he plays for, and yeah, confirmation of a yellow card. That's good refereeing, actually, from the Korean official, because he's set a marker down. It was a poor decision, really. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It was a poor decision on the part of the United Arab Emirates midfielder there, because he'd made no effort to challenge for the ball and just totally crashed into the Hong Kong defender. So there's the Hong Kong captain, Chan Soo Ki, who has now moved, playing his football for Sunray Cave, Guangdong Sunray Cave, and we have also Leung Chun Pong playing for that side as well. So our new German-Chinese defender there for Hong Kong, Andy Neglane, didn't get a shout, looking for players around, and he has to concede a corner. And it's going to be the gentleman on the yellow card, takes a short corner. It's a good turn, and he's kept it in. Well, Hong Kong really, 2 defenders got sold there. The ball may have been out, though. Let's have a look again. He looks a tricky customer, doesn't he? Omar. He's played it into his feet. And poor defending, really. It looked like the ball just went out, but terrible defending there. And it was Kwok Kim Pong. They were totally sold. Thought he was going to come inside on his left foot. To stay so aware, you know, as the standard of competition goes up, and commits a free kick already. But really, you have to be so careful and concentrate all the time, because playing against the better sides, if you do lose concentration just for a moment, they can really punish you. And looking down the last 5 games of this UAE side, they've pretty much, well, they beat New Zealand 2-0, and they absolutely they They won on penalties, but they drew with Trinidad and Tobago 3-3. Is the first chance, offside though called. Uzbekistan 2-1, Vietnam 2-1, and actually that's a fabulous win for them. January this year, it was away against Iran, and they beat them 2-1 as well. So they have continued some very, very good form, and as mentioned, have won their last 5 games. Unlike Hong Kong, who have won only 2, won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. And a strange game it was. In fact, we commentated here live on Now TV. It was a 1-0 loss against the Philippines. As we see, Hong Kong, Chan Soo Ki with the first real opportunity to put the ball in the danger area. Got a long throw, as we know. So look at that, right onto the penalty spot. Nobody could get a hold of it, though. And, brought away by Omar. It's not a bad ball. Got to be very aware of that, Hong Kong. Certainly looks the danger man, doesn't he? The number 21, Omar. So Hong Kong's problem is scoring goals, because in these last 5 competitive games they've only scored 2 goals. And the win, most recent win, was a 1-0 home victory against Singapore, and then of course they beat Vietnam in the earlier round of this Asia Cup qualifying group. So really, it's where the goals are coming from is a problem for the Hong Kong side. It's Mahidi Ali, the UAE coach. And yeah, not too many of them, but they are out to enjoy the evening. UAE supporters, I suppose, local residents here in Hong Kong. Conditions absolutely perfect for this fixture. And, well, you would say possibly is favouring Hong Kong. But you see, they're squeezing a little bit now, so I wonder if Kim has asked them to push on a little bit, because they were defending quite deep just a few moments ago, and now they're just squeezing the ball over their own halfway line, Hong Kong. Of course, the UAE can have possession of the football there. It's not the danger. Agbo shepherding it back to Hong Fai, the South China goalkeeper, keeps his place. It's going to go out for a throw. Yap has not quite got it down here, but he's made a number of appearances for Hong Kong. He's the regular number 1. Got lucky, didn't he, actually? Lo Kuan Yi, the number 12 for Hong Kong, plays his football for Kichi. The ball had totally gone. He'd lost control of the ball, and unfortunately, well, fortunately for him, Ahmed Khalil committed the foul. As the UAE try to test and probe this Hong Kong side. Really, I suppose it's a testament to Hong Kong and the relatively new chief executive, Mark Sutcliffe. We got a shot of him a few moments ago because it is somewhat of a test, these next few fixtures for the Hong Kong side. Don't forget, could have nastily got a deflection there off of a Hong Kong player. And it looked like it was Zaid with the strike on his left foot. It was right foot, sorry, but Agbo, I think, got the last touch. It's gone against our new recruit as well. Well, his first 15 minutes have not been probably as good a start as he would like. But yes, of course, here in Hong Kong we have the Project Phoenix to overhaul Hong Kong soccer, not just the national side, but obviously the national side is the pinnacle and the top of that overhaul process. That's going to be Yap's good goalkeeping. Saw the danger, didn't he? Read it, got out early. But good work from, once again, that man Omar. And really, you know, if Hong Kong, as I said, can pick up even just possibly a point, irrespective of a victory, it will go some way to not necessarily justifying, but it's a long-term project, as we all know, to sustain long-term success. But nevertheless, it will go some way to at least Hong Kong FA being able to say that Project Phoenix is on the right track, and this Hong Kong side are slowly able to. Of course, one of the objectives is to increase their world ranking, and well, just from last month they dropped 4 places, so it's not having the desired effect so far. It's hardly surprising when you lose 1-0 to the likes of the Philippines. Really, Hong Kong are in a very good position. If you are just joining us, just to remind you again, this is the Asian Cup Qualifier. Hong Kong in red against the United Arab Emirates in white. And it's Group E. And Hong Kong are currently on 4 points and in second position in this group. So they won't have a better opportunity to capitalise on the good start that they've made. I say good start, they've had a 1-0 victory over Vietnam, and they drew against Uzbekistan. So not necessarily to set alight. Well, James McKee just, well, he has a little look back to say, give me a little bit better ball, but Lee Chi-ho, playing his football up in Beijing now, possibly just overhit that for James McKee. It's a good foot in. It's going to go out. Teams just played the one time before, and it ended in a 1-1 draw. So Hong Kong, James McKee is going to, no, good advantage. I was going to say he got a hold of the defender there, didn't he? But good closing down from James McKee. Really gives you 110% every time he plays. That's his style. Never gives up. Here are the two foreigners, if you like, combining from this Hong Kong side. Again, we're just looking for that quality in the well, in the UAE half and their final third, and that's really where it all matters. And unfortunately, it's the hardest thing in professional football. Anyone can keep the ball in their own half and look comfortable, but as soon as it goes to the final third, it gets closed down. Onside, and Hong Kong could get caught here. Good defending, good toe in there. In fact, it had to be, didn't it? And it was Leung Chun Pong, who also plays his football for Guangdong Sunray, with the last-ditch challenge. Agbo away, but only to a UAE defender, and they will build again. Yeah, it's fairly tough to play that defensive offside trap. You've all got to be very, very well drilled and coordinated, or else it's pretty easy to get caught out. So that was Walid Abbas, and he's 1.80 m, so that's pretty much a mismatch for the Hong Kong right fullback, which is probably why I won that header so easily. Chan Soo-ki getting a flick on, playing a slightly deeper role. Chan Soo-ki, James McKee sort of leading the line, so he sits just behind in that hole as opposed to being the main striker as he traditionally has been for his club side and the Hong Kong side. James McKee doing well there. He's got to play it. It's better from Andy. Kwok Kim Pong just losing out. That's going to be a foul. James McKee tracking back, and the second yellow card. So the referee continues. To be fair to him, a bit of consistency. McKee's pulled at his shirt, but in fact he did get a toe into the football, so it's a bit unfortunate for James McKee. He's the second player into the referee's book. Now, the only thing, of course, with the referee brandishing a couple of yellow cards early on is he puts himself under pressure, doesn't he? Because now they were, you know, I don't know, in my book, not yellow cards, really. And possibly a stern warning would be the order of the day, rather than just getting a yellow card out. Because now, if the same player commits a similar offence, you know, well, the rules state you have to show him another yellow card, and then it starts to get quite serious as we get players being sent off. This is better for Hong Kong. James McKee just running away from play, and sort of, he just got forced wide, didn't he? Good defending, actually. But what he does do, James McKee, and I really like about him, is he's very direct, typical striker. He just wants to be positive all the time, which is nothing wrong with that. So as we talked about, Hong Kong not qualifying for the Asian Cup since 1968. The UAE have qualified for the past 7 Asian Cup tournaments, and tend to do very well in them also. Cleared, but only as far as Hassan, number 17. Good challenge, Chan Soo-ki getting back, showing some of his defensive capabilities there. It's tight, but the UAE are moving it very, very well, and there's a chance here. Good save. Well, they carved that open very, very well, didn't they? And you saw Omar, the number 21, involved. Very good quick feet, but I believe it was the number 11, Ahmed Khalil, with the strike. And, well, you could argue he should have done better because it was straight at Hong Kong's #1, Yap Hong Fai, who did a good job of keeping it out. Yeah, confirmation there. It was the number 11. Khalil. James McKee will pick this one up. Good little touch. Better from Hong Kong. Got to move it quickly. There's a lot of white shirts getting back. There's an overlap here as well. Chan Soo Ki totally miskicked that one. I think he was in two minds in the end. There's an overlap down the right by his right fullback, Lee Chi-ho. As we see this again, look at the 21. Very heavily involved Omar. Good feet here. Took that really well, didn't he? It was a difficult take for number 11, Khalil, but he really did very well. Got it out of his feet, but couldn't beat Yap in the Hong Kong goal. Good chance, though. It's going to be a foul. I hope there's no yellow card for that. Just got caught, didn't he? On his way down, though, you could argue. Lo Kuan Yi, one of the Kitchi midfielders. A number of Kitchi players in the squad, but there's only 2 starting this evening, which, given Kitchi's dominance of the local Hong Kong First Division in recent years, there's Coach Kim for Hong Kong, is kind of a little surprising, really. You'd expect maybe a couple more in there. And of course, we only have, well, in starting 11, 2 South China players. So 2 from Pegasus, 2 from South China, and 2 from Kitchi. And the rest are all playing their football in the mainland. So it's a deep cross, and Agbo had a good chance there. The marking was very poor on him, and I think he got under it, didn't he, too much. Good ball in. Some Pegasus midfielder, Zhu Yingzi, he's whipped it in, hasn't he? And well, that was a free header. Poor marking, and the defender, Wisdom Agbo, should have done a little bit better, actually. You know, at this level, you don't get too many chances, and you really have to make them count. It's not a small side, the UAE, so you would expect from a dead ball situation that Hong Kong would be not necessarily getting on the end of a number of the deliveries into the box. Andy wins the ball again. It's going to go all the way through to the captain, goalkeeper, Ali Kasif. A good little spell there for Hong Kong, wasn't it? 5 or 10 minutes. It's very dangerous, 21. Omar checks in on that left foot. He's tricky. Starting just to cut up a little bit. But really, from where it was a few months ago, this is well, 100% improvement. So look at the 21 now. He's dropping Omar so deep because he needs to get a hold of that football. He's obviously a key man, and without the ball at his feet, he can't influence the game. Poor decision, really. James McKee just getting in front of the well, it's that man who seemed to go down quite easily, didn't he? That's Khalil, who had the shot on goal a few moments ago. Kwok Kim Pong and James McKee will form the wall. Let's have a look who's going to be over it, and no surprise. Looks a bit like David Luiz, doesn't he, from Chelsea with that haircut. Good ball in, well headed away by Andy Naglian. It's a good ball as well, and it's beaten Agbo. It really has, and the opening goal, well, Agbo was not really that well positioned. It was a lovely little chip in around the Hong Kong defence, and just coming up to 30 minutes, and it's the man who went into the book after only 5 minutes, number 7, Magnot, who opens the scoring. Look at this, it's a lovely ball in, and Agbo, well, number 3 who clipped it in. He should have got more on it, shouldn't he? In fact, he brings it down for the number 7 quite nicely, and he couldn't miss. He really could not miss from 5 yards out. After Hong Kong's number 3, Wisdom Agbo, actually controlled the ball in the 18-yard box for him. I think I might have even scored that. Coach Kim is, well, I would imagine he's pretty furious about that, and he's calling to his bench already. Really a poor goal to concede for Hong Kong. You know, and whatever it's 0-0, James McKee heading this one down, and then chasing his own header. Fabulous work from McKee. Hussein. Abdulaziz Hussein was the player bringing McKee down. Not quite making clearing the front defender. Run out for a corner. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get a few more reruns of that goal, but really I'd have to put it down as a defensive error. It was, you know, a tidy finish, but as mentioned, he couldn't really fail but score. It was an easy chance in the end, and the Hong Kong defender Agbo just got caught on the wrong side. Well played, and there's a break on here, and the goal scorer once again. Good bit of cover though there, really needed to, didn't he? And it's a familiar face of Kwok Kin Pong with the cover. He's not the biggest fellow on the pitch, but my word, he covered some ground there. He's really making everything tick, isn't he, the number 21, Omar. You know, we've seen him popping up on that right wing, and here he is now at left midfield. Just got to get him on the ball, because that's where he can influence things. Free kick to Hong Kong. Poor touch from Abdullah Habib. And bringing down Hong Kong's number 6, Huang Yang, kitschy central midfielder. Chan Soo Ki, good football. See that quality, just not quite there. Risky ball. It's got to be short, sharp, and accurate. Here is Agbo. Of course, I'm sure he'll be very, very disappointed with the goal himself. You know, no, it's often said, but no footballer in any league from the top to the bottom intentionally makes a mistake. it's just part of the game. So you do have to feel for him a little bit. There's the German-Chinese. As mentioned, he was at Nuremberg for a number of years. Could be well worked from Hong Kong. There he is, confirmation. He's picked up a little bit in this second part of the first half. He's had problems with injuries, actually. He did play in Hong Kong. He was signed by Rangers, actually, to play in Hong Kong. But he broke his leg in the opening fixture and had a 3 to 4 month layoff, in which time he was let go by Rangers and now plays his football in mainland China. And it was just making his debut, but it was touch and go if he would be released by his mainland club as well. So great to see him. There he is, number 15 over there. Not able to influence the game as yet, though. Just gone over the 35-minute mark. The referee allowing play to go on there, and it looks like the Hong Kong captain has come off the worst in that one. Well, we've seen a change already, which is somewhat unusual, so I can only think that either something's not working or somebody has picked up an injury. And I suspect it's an injury because we're seeing well, maybe not. Because we're seeing Zhu Ying Zi, some Pegasus midfielder who's been on the free kicks and has been on the corners, has gone off, and Godfrey has come on. It's another yellow card as well, so it's kind of Gahib there. Trying to keep track of a number of these. Just Chansu keys down flat on the floor. He's got a whack on the back of the head, and yeah, it was the number 23, wasn't it? The UAE defender who picks up that yellow card. And well, yeah, if it's a head injury, you've got to get the officials on. And I don't think that's an injury. I think that's a tactical decision change, and Yu Ying Zi, the mainland Chinese, again Hong Kong resident now, has been replaced by Godfrey. So we have another mainland Chinese player, if you like, playing his football in the mainland on the field for Hong Kong. So that's 6 outfield players now on the field for Hong Kong, who all play their football on the mainland. There's a player, it looks like James McKee has gone down. Not sure what happened there. He may just have caught somebody's heel. Certainly not calling for a penalty, though. And Yeah, well, Kim, really, his, you know, Hong Kong have not had a bad first half. They haven't, but they've just not been able to keep the ball, I think, as much as they would have liked, and consequently, it's just not been able to link for them. And they've not been as well. You know, the more you get on the ball, the more confident you become, and confidence really is underestimated in football. It's so important. UAE, on the other hand, are seeing a lot of this ball, and well, the referee didn't give the foul, but the UAE midfielder has gone down. Looked like be a bit of a heavy challenge. Well, not really. I think he just trod on his hand, didn't he, there? Not so much the chance. So it's Zaid who's gone down. Number 13. Under the challenge, or studs standing on his hand from the substitute Godfrey. Yeah, I think that's all it is, to be honest. Pretty painful, though. There's McKee taking on some water. Yeah, so even though the temperature's come down a little bit, it's still quite it's quite humid here in Hong Kong. Hong Kong doing the right thing and giving the ball back after a stop to proceedings. I just think they've got to play a little bit quicker, Hong Kong, as well. They're sometimes getting caught on the ball. Just had nothing on, did he, Godfrey? He came in, ran into trouble, and the last thing you want is this little, well, this young fellow to be having the ball at his feet, actually. He's got nothing, you see. He's looking for an option to come inside, and then they check back and lose it. Really, Hong Kong not getting enough players around the ball when in possession of it. So the UAE just it's given away, but you can see, you know, the ball goes in, and he doesn't just rest on his laurels. He moves into space to receive a pass. Always need to support the ball. Wherever it goes, you need to run into that space nearby to give an option to the player in possession of the ball. Godfrey doing quite well there. That's wasted. James McKee came short to feet, and it was hit long for a goal kick. As we fast approach the half-time break, and the UAE scoring quite an easy goal, you could say, really, because it was more of an error on the Hong Kong defensive side rather than a well-worked chance. Having said that, it was a nice ball in, and it was Agbo got the wrong side of the striker, and in fact even brought it down for this man here. Could it be number 2? Great skill, carved an opening, and it very nearly was, wasn't it? Just overhit it, and Yap wouldn't have done much about that. So Ali Madbo with the goal that separates these two sides. And he very nearly, well, he got a sight on goal, didn't he, there? And he could have made it 2. It's going to be kicked out again. There's a Hong Kong player down on the far side. And not sure what happened there off the ball. It's our German-Chinese debutant. Certainly got an elbow in the stomach. There didn't look to be too much wrong with that. It may have been a second challenge, actually, where he picked up the injury. So the UAE returning the compliment. And Hong Kong come again. It's just as long as it's 0-0, you've really got a chance, and to go into the break, he's got to give it there. The number 12 for Hong Kong, it was Lo Kuan Yi. He's done very well initially, and then he's got a man on. You have to pass the football. So many players trying to run with it, and there's big shouts. And it was Agbo once again, just left a foot in, I think. Yeah, and it was not a bad challenge at all. Just a follow through from the UAE player, caused him some pain. Khalil. Yap trying to set his wall up, so this could be the last action of the first half, and a good clearance from Chan Soo Ki. And a nice little worked ball from the UAE. That man again, Omar. He's fairly young, doesn't he, our official from Korea? And after making, well, we've had the 3 yellow cards now. 2 for the UAE and 1 for Hong Kong, which was James McKee. Oh, well played. But McKee's got to offload, and he does well. Pardon, it wasn't McKee. Be a little careful here that they played out of defence rather well. There's a man out wide. It's like Chan Soo Ki, and well, he gets a head on the ball, but it's just going to run harmlessly through to the goalkeeper, and we are into injury time. There will be a little bit of it. We've had 2 or 3 players down, and we've had 1 substitution. Not quite sure how many minutes of injury time yet, but 2 or 3 possibly. And Hong Kong, well, may be fortunate to just go, well, to be down 1 goal and not more, because there has been 2 or 3 really gilt-edged chances for this UAE side, and possibly just the 1 header. James McKee not having much luck either. Really, other than the header from Agbo from that set piece early on, there has not been a chance for Hong Kong. That's better pressure from the substitute Godfrey, causing an error from Al-Kashif in the UAE goal. The Hong Kong throw. Here he is, Godfrey again, but not holding the ball. Protecting the ball. It's a lovely ball through. Just did enough, didn't he, Lee Chi-ho for Hong Kong. And that is confirmation. 3 minutes of added time in the first half, and Hong Kong will go in to the break. A goal down, unfortunately, and it all came from, well, a rather poor lapse of concentration, and yeah, not wanting to point fingers, but really a couple of those Hong Kong defenders have to take responsibility And the #1 suspect, unfortunately, was a certain Wisdom Agbo, who just perfect conditions. And you know, I think earlier in the week it may have been a certain Mr. Sutcliffe, Mark Sutcliffe, chief executive, who talked about moving a lot of the Hong Kong national team games, in fact, if not all of them, to the Hong Kong Stadium versus playing them at Mong Kong, but I'm not quite so sure about that. So the change, Huang Yang, #6, is going off, and as mentioned, Lam Kar Wai will come on. So it's a Key Chi player for a Key Chi player. Hong Kong made 2 substitutions. They've got 1 left, of course. And the UAE have got their full original complement of players. And they start this second half, a goal to the good. If you are just joining us, roughly about 23, 24 minutes. And there is, the camera is not on him for no reason at all, because there's the goal scorer, and he has a yellow card against his name, Ali Magpok. 1m87, and he plays his football, the goal scorer for Jazia, Al Jazia in the UAE. So off we go for this second half, and a huge test for Hong Kong these next 3 games, starting with this one. They play a home and away fixture against the United Arab Emirates, and this being the first of those 2 fixtures. Good first touch, wasn't it, from, well, at the moment, my man of the match, a certain Omar for the UAE. Keep wanting to call him David Luiz, because the haircut's exactly the same as the Chelsea Brazilian defender. Nevertheless, he's been the player of the game so far. So after this one, Hong Kong will, of course, there's the reverse. The other 2 teams in this Group E will play this evening, and it's in Uzbekistan. They're playing Vietnam, so pending on those results. And then exactly 1 month today, 15th of November, Hong Kong will travel to the UAE for the reverse fixture. Both these 2 games critical, and if they can just get something out of, well, you would think out of this home game, but Hong Kong did get a result, well, call it a result, but a 0-0 against away against Uzbekistan. So a 0-0 in the UAE would also be seen as a very, very good result. Consequently, they were hoping to get a bit more from this home fixture this evening. Well, we still have a whole second half to go. Here's the substitute. Godfrey just giving it away there, though, and they could be under pressure now, and should have finished. Super chance once again. This time falling. Well, I think he's had a couple of chances, hasn't he? Number 11 again. It's yeah, Khalil. Nice little cut inside, and good save from Yap Hung Fai with his right foot. But once again, the UAE should be, well, another goal to the good there. Super chance. Excellent ball, really. Good save, Yap, again, straight at him, though. It's that man once again. Khalil. Look who's involved, though. Omar with a little comfortable pass, confident, steps over the ball, keeps it down, and a great little through ball. Yap's going to come all the way out and clear the danger. But really, you can't fault the goalkeeper so far. He's kept the well, he's certainly kept the scoreline down, and he couldn't do anything with the goal. Let's be honest. Lee Chi Ho. Not sure if he got a bang on the nose by the looks of it, but I think he'll be okay. Oh yeah, just a clash of heads, wasn't it, really? It's really going to be interesting to see how Hong Kong come out, because they're sort of chasing the game, aren't they, now? But if they come out too much, they could get punished again, which I'm sure the Hong Kong coach Kim will fully realise. There he is, right on cue. And good tackle, very, very good tackle. Mohamed Garib was on a yellow card, by the way, so it could have been very dangerous if that tackle was not timed to perfection. He would have given away a penalty, possibly got himself sent off had it have not been absolutely perfect. So here's our substitute, the Kichi midfielder, Lam Kar-wai. Let's see what he can deliver. Well, it wasn't a bad ball. He slipped over the ball there, as they've got a man forward now. Yap's going to clear this one, and unfortunately it was not the best ball from Omar there, just overhit it slightly. It's going to go out, and really they also know that was a very good chance for the UAE. They broke quickly, they got bodies forward, and Omar just slightly with the outside of his left boot gave Hong Kong a chance. Excellent play. It's going to be covered though by Hong Kong defender Lee Chi-ho. Hussein, Omar, Hussein again. Challenged by Andy Nagalain. Hussein again and Omar. Godfrey does well this time, using his strength, just slightly overruns it, but he gets lucky, and Chan Soo Ki can break. Very poor effort in the end. You could see what he was trying to do, and you know, all credit for the thought process, but really the execution left a lot to be desired. And you know, when you get just a few, not even chances, but opportunities in a game such as this, you really need to do a lot better. Yeah, free kick against the substitute, Lam Kar-wai. Agbo will clear. Yeah, he's looked fairly lively, hasn't he? There's Agbo Godfrey, who's come on, number 11. Oh, poor clearance again from Hong Kong, and surely now, no, good save, Yap. Keeps Hong Kong in this tie. And I must say, my man of the match is changing pretty quickly to Yap Hong Fai. Good flick on from Omar, but terrible clearance from the Hong Kong number 2, Lee Chi-ho. Look at that. All over the place, and not the best finish, but nevertheless Yap keeps Hong Kong in this one. Chan Soo Ki doing quite well, but not well enough. again, Lee Chi-ho, well, his positioning was all wrong, actually. Hong Kong have just got to get the ball down and start to build a passage of play and a passage of passes. Look at that from Chan Soo-ki. It bounces completely up at him. And even though he retains control of the football, it just leaves him in a difficult situation where he has to then have another touch to bring the ball down. So first change for the UAE as we see number 9, Hussein, I beg your pardon, going off. Good skill, and there's a man over, and another great chance. Oh, comes back on his right side, and the second one, a second bite of the cherry, takes the UAE 2 goals to the good up. And really, it's been coming, hasn't it? It really has. Just as we saw that change, it was Habib Abdullah with the through ball, and that man there, Ali Mabkhut, scores his second goal of the evening. Let's have a look. Slides him in, not offside. Tries to play a pass in, and I think, you know what, the second shot was got some venom on it, didn't it? It kind of caught Yap a little by surprise on his near post. It was a great strike, so much power. And gets his second goal. ...23 years of age. And as mentioned before, plays his football for Al Jazeera. Oh, can Hong Kong come back from this? James McKee. It's a tall order now, I must say. Chan Soo-ki looking for a penalty. It's a decent ball in from our substitute, isn't it? But no penalty for sure. So Lam Kar-wah with the delicate left foot chip into that danger area. In fact, it was the substitute, wasn't it? Abdullah Musa, who was back there, just easing Chan Soo-ki out of it. Kwok Kim Pong conceding the throw. There's the substitute taking the throw for the UAE. Yeah, Hong Kong are just standing off the UAE midfielders a little bit, giving them too much respect, to be honest. And they can work it all the way back and control this ball. Agbo clears. James McKee's not had a lot of quality. He's had service, but it hasn't been quality service. Having said that, his first touch has not been super either. Not that it's easy at this level, because it's not. It's a foul. James McKee coming on inside, and just gets caught. Zaid caught him. We're going to see Lam Karwai on the ball again. Good shape about him. Nice, looking for a bit of quality here on this delivery, and it is not bad. James McKee gets ahead on it, but he couldn't quite direct it down, could he? There was not enough pace on it. Got in front of his marker though, McKee. It needed a sort of a glance, didn't it, down to that near post. See a number of goals scored like that, but he was a little far out as well. Agbo will clear. Yep. Free kick against Leung Chun Pong. No surprise to see Omar over this one. Having said that, it could be a hit, sort of Ronaldo style by number 13, Zaid. Seems to be lining up for a shot, and that's exactly what he did. Well, he had Yap not far away, was it? It's very Ronaldo-like-ish. And a bad ball into the channel. It's just slightly overhit, and the UAE deal with it fairly easily. Great feet. See that from Omar. One touch, got it. Knew where the ball was going before he even played it. Before it even came to him, he knew where it was going. Offside, and it was fortunate because Khalil was through again. You know what? He looks pretty level to me on that replay. Lovely ball through. There's a Hong Kong defender on the far side playing him on. And I'm not so sure that this near side Korean assistant got that one correct. Good flick on from Chan Soo Ki. See from, of course, it's easy playing here in the commentary box, but it just needed a little flick inside and not all the way to try and Agbo. Good tackle. Naligan comes out with it. Can Hong Kong build? Wilfred. Godfred keeps it in play. It's just behind his colleague, who does really well, but he's going to be offside. Kwok Kim Pong, actually the ball was played behind him, and these are the differences. It's not a case of just getting the ball to him. The ball needs to be at his feet and ideally in front of him, so he's running onto it. And I'm seeing this quite a bit with the Hong Kong side, where just the quality of the passing's been somewhat poor. So we see another change. This time it is Mohamed Garib going off, and it looks like Kamali, Hamdan Kamali, coming on, the number 8. In actual fact,
Kamali is currently on loan in the French club Lyon, so keep an eye out for number 8. Now a UAE substitute who, well, if the club he's at suggests the kind of player he is, he's going to be decent. He just loses out there, you see, very poor, wasn't it? Here he is again, Godfred. He's a big, strong fellow, but he's not protecting the football. An effort from distance, allowed to run though, wasn't he? And you should not let that young man run, because he really was lost in the midfield by Lam Kawai. Just snatches at it, Omar. 22 years of age. And looks a very, very bright prospect. Free kick. A bit too aggressive there. Hassan. Well, Kim's only got one more change available to him. Well battled. Lam, the substitute, really, he's been very good since he's joined the fray. It looks like Kim has made his decision. Just quality from Omar, really. He was back to the play and he picked out a colleague with a half volley. Great technique. It's always a pass and move. You have to pass quickly, move the ball quickly, get into position to receive it and support the player with the football. It's getting a little late in the evening, so there's probably not too many kids awake. Should be in bed by now, children, but nevertheless, if they're watching, that's what it's all about, keeping possession of the football. And if you can control that, you can control the game. Not always the result, but nevertheless. Kong have failed to do that. See, again, it's an overhit pass. He was never really, you could see what he was trying to do, but you know, there was not the movement there, and you've got to try and a bit frustrating, I know. Got to try and build it from the midfield and have confidence to try and play through this UAE side. Really gives the ball away, Omar, and he's playing in such a difficult area as well. Even his little flicks are nearly coming off. "67 minutes, coming up 68, and we see the third and final change for Hong Kong. So it's Lo Kuan Yi who's going to come off. And Lee's going on. So number 9, Lee Wai Lim, plays for South China. is on. And he's a midfield. You see, again, he's Godfrey, you know, for all his physical attributes, his awareness of the players around him, and he certainly lacks quite a bit of that awareness. So comfortable on the ball, Omar. It's exactly what he's doing. Runs a man through again. Offside. Pulled it in any case. Not sure which one of them was offside. Oh yeah, clearly 2 or 3 yards that time. Look at the 18 though on this near side. If it could have found its way over to substitute Abdullah Musa, it would have been a very good chance. Here's the goal scorer. Can he get a hat-trick? He's completely through and he's overhit it there. But once again, well, it's a long ball through, and Hong Kong got caught napping. He just overhit that one, and Yap did enough. No support, has he? Plays into Chan Soo Kee. Chan Soo Kee's touch again is not great. Foul. No, referee allows play on. Dangerous place to lose the ball. And it is our debutant again. Well, it did look like a free kick, I must say. He's not really taken the ball there. He's come straight through the man. It's Zaid with that challenge. And it looks like he's got a dead leg. Andy Naligan. Let's hope he's okay to continue, the new Hong Kong midfielder, because they've made 3 changes, Hong Kong, and yeah, he's remonstrating that there is no foul, and that's quite correct. The referee didn't call it. It did look like a foul to me, to be fair to him. Okay, because here he is again. Should be a UAE throw, to be honest. It came off Godfrey. Here he is. Well, not really a back pass, was it? But that's what the crowd were shouting for. Trying to find James McKee. Now he's giving it back. Really, in this second half, Hong Kong have not had any real decent chances. I don't think they had a shot on goal either. tennis all the way around. Somebody needs to get it down and to play. It's better from Hong Kong. Chan Soo Ki comes to feet, better touch, but again given away. Nice little one touch from Omar. It's just very simple. He's got a man over. It's difficult to bring down, and again over hit by the UAE midfielder because the substitute, and just got our goal scorer gets caught offside in any case, but he didn't bring it down. And oh, chance here, Chan Soo Ki, no, just didn't quite get the bounce, did he? Had he have made any contact on that at all, he would have been in. Look at that, just the goalkeeper kind of in no man's land. Well, again, dispossessed, and Lee Chi Ho, who got caught again by our goal scorer. Really, it looked like he nicked the ball off him. Oh no, caught the man, pulled him down, definite foul. Hong Kong come again. Key trying to build. It's not the best ball in, is it? That's our substitute, Lee Wai Lim. Good skill by Lam. James McKee. There's Lam again. Chan Soo Ki just catching the UAE goalkeeper and captain. Yeah, and he didn't really know that he was there, to be fair about it. I mean, it's always the goalkeepers, and Chan Soo Ki has actually caught him. It's always going to give you 100% Chan Soo Ki, there's no doubt about that. Says it all, doesn't it? Quite a bit of frustration for Kim as this game just ticks away from the Hong Kong side. And, the crowd not happy because they think he's faking that, but I think Chan Soo Ki did actually catch him. Certainly not for a lack of effort on the Hong Kong side's part. Good first touch. Omar again slides his colleague in, and it has to be three, surely. Oh, how did they contrive to miss that? Incredible stuff. Super ball. Agbo's playing him on, and somehow Yap does well again, and off of the floor, somehow that young man there, Khalil, Ahmed Khalil, puts it over the bar from all of 6 yards out. He's shot down into the ground, hasn't he? But really, Hong Kong just carved apart so easily. Chansuki, it was not on, was it? And Omar finds a colleague, as he has all evening. From Hong Kong, and it was Lam who played it out there. James McKee hit his own player, didn't it? It was Leung Chipong. Looking for the ball in again to McKee, and it's well defended. Very well defended, in fact. Salim, the UAE central defender. Well, this is better from Hong Kong, and good from Chansuki. Can we get a shot off on goal at least here? Well, great opportunity once again. Offside has been called, I think, in the end, but Chansuki had a fabulous chance to pull the trigger. Admittedly, it may well have been on his weaker side. Let's have a look. Still onside, James McKee. Well, there's no offside at all in that passage of play, but nevertheless, it came to nothing. Omar, well, eventually, he does give the ball away. Somewhat unusually for him. Good ball out wide, a good take as well from Godfrey. It's going to be a corner. Well, much better from Hong Kong. Makes it control, and it was Andy Nagalane again with that ball. He's tried to hit a number of those cross-field balls, and they haven't really come off, but that one did. The substitute, Lam Kar-wai. Can Hong Kong get at least a goal back? Oh, James McKee didn't connect, and it was a super ball in, and he was right there. Agbo, if he's pulled a muscle or what on that far side, but he's limping. 2 balls on the pitch, that doesn't work. But really a super ball from Lam Kar-wai. And James McKee looked as though he should have done better. Salim clears. Lead to Agbo. It's good work by Lam. Chansuki. James McKee to his right. That'll be easily cleared though. Got lucky there that time, did Omar, but he's on the ball again. Super skills, and he is onside, is he not? Plays it back. Very, very good football. What a great little footballer he is, number 21, Omar. And Hong Kong fortunate to get away with just a corner. Just comes back. Lovely play. It was Khalil with the strike again. Not having much luck, is he, Khalil, in front of goal. Omar it is with the corner as we approach 85 minutes. That'll be easy for Yap. Now, can Hong Kong just try to force this a little bit? James McKee has not stopped running the whole evening, and I do feel sorry for him. So much effort. That ball again over to Godfrey. Beg your pardon, he's not on that far side then. I was expecting him. It was Kwok Kim Pong, left fullback, who got forward. Abdullah Musa clears it as we approach the last 5 minutes. The third and final change. And number 16 coming on, Salah. Well, he will after this corner. Salim it was with the headed clearance. And number 16 will replace Abdullah Habib. It's basically a midfielder for another midfielder. No confirmation. Abdullah is off. And Salil is on. Agbo's lost that one in the lights, but just gets lucky. Suzuki heads it down under quite a bit of pressure though. Well, it was late, wasn't it? The ball was going away actually. It's going to be a card though. Kwok Kin Pong. Yeah, it was really more the two-footed challenge. I don't really think he caught him. But yeah, it was more the two-footed challenge on Omar. Let's hope he doesn't stay down too long. Well, a handful of supporters for the UAE are going to go home very happy this evening, because should the result stay as it is, the UAE would continue to top the group on 9 points, 3 games, 3 wins, and really you would have to say in a very, very strong position to qualify for the 8th consecutive time for the Asian Cup. It's going to be played actually in Australia in 2015. And seems to be okay. Good advantage played by the referee, and that would have been some goal from the UAE. And a little bit too much pace on it for our goal scorer. He's got no support. You know, people are running away from him with the ball. They've got to be supposedly running to him to build, not completely away. James McKee, again, just nowhere. It's very difficult when you've got 2 or 3 defenders around you, though, it has to be said. There's the UAE substitute. Oh, excellent, excellent. And it's going to be 3 as easy as you like, and it is a hat-trick. But really, I really want to say David Luiz, because his hair just looks... Omar, fabulous. If you have a look at this one again, picks the ball up here, skips by Agbo, and he plays it through the legs of a Hong Kong defender. Agbo, no chance. Have a look at this, right through his legs. And finally, a cool finish by our goal scorer, Ali Mabkhot. And there he is, get a hat-trick. You can keep the ball tonight, take it home with you. Thoroughly deserved. Hong Kong really pulled apart in this second half, and never really, well, after that second goal went in, they never really looked like getting back on any kind of level terms at all. The game was going away from them, and the UAE just slowly tiring the Hong Kong side down. They look a little, maybe a little second best, pretty much all the way over around the park, the Hong Kong side. But that's not necessarily related totally to fitness. It's the quality of passing. It's the support with the man on the ball. It's their overall play, really. It's not been good enough. Super touchy game from Omar. Slightly overhit. Hassan was there with the pass, attempted pass. As we move into stoppage time now, it's just all too easy, isn't it, for the UAE now. Chansuki and James McKee. Really, you see, James McKee's got 3 players around him. What, really, what do you expect him to do with the ball? He's got to have a run at those defenders, and eventually he loses out. They've sort of given up now a little bit, haven't they, Hong Kong? Comes inside. Can he get a shot off at least? Well, he does, and it's going to go out for a corner. And I don't think that was far away, actually. So good work from Pegasus striker. Yeah, got a deflection. But it's not worked well at all and given away. And this is where the UAE can break. Have a look at this. Of course, the game's won now, but they could put the icing on the cake. Well, once again, Omar, possibly 3 times he's given the ball away in the whole game, so we won't hold him to that. Good decision, actually. James McKee just running off sides. We're coming 93 minutes. They just stepped up. Yeah, looked about right as the ball was played. Looks like Hong Kong are going to stay on 4 points. And as mentioned, the UAE will go to 9. And not sure of the result from the other fixture in this group yet. Uzbekistan against Vietnam. And it is in Uzbekistan. So you'd fancy them to get a result at home. And if they did, they'd be level on points with Hong Kong. So still all to play for in this group, with the exception, I think, of the UAE just running away with things a little bit. It's going to go out for a corner. People leaving the stadium, possibly the last piece of action. Godfrey with the corner. It's a good one, easily dealt with though in the end. Agbo tries to win it. Omar picks up the pieces, comes away with the football at his feet and finds a colleague. Substitute, actually. It's going to be a foul, but it is excellent refereeing and an excellent goal. Looks like the left fullback. 4-0 in injury time, stoppage time. And it was actually a foul, wasn't it? But good refereeing. That's a foul right there, but he allows advantage to be played, and it's the fullback Walid Abbas who makes it 4, no mistake, comfortable finish, and Hong Kong are truly beaten. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the end of the match. It is. So we just heard the whistle go during those celebrations, and it pretty much it was the last kick of the game. So, just confirmation of the score down on your screen. It's United Arab Emirates 4, Hong Kong 0, and they continue their progression in this Asian Cup qualifiers. Group E standings, they go to 9 points. Hong Kong will remain on 4. And they, next month, will play each other again, but this time it'll be even harder because it's in the United Arab Emirates. So, thanks for joining us. Hope you can join us next time. Goodbye.